We're back out in the lakes again today, and we're heading up to what I would class as a hidden gem. We're going up to the Priest Hole, and we've been here in a video before. It was back when I first started, and yeah, we'll do it properly this time. It's not my favourite climb up. It's fairly brutal when you're carrying a big bag, but I'm going to go over what I do for the walks I don't really like, showing how to break it up, and yeah, hopefully we'll get some good views. We've made it up to the bridge now. This is the second place I like to stop at. First one is that barn, because there's usually them cows there and the views start to open out. I've never taken a picture of this bridge before, but I just like standing on it and looking down at the water. And then the next place we're going to stop at is, there's some waterfalls up there. We've stopped there in a video before. We'll probably stop there for a little bit today, but the reason I like to do this is it's quite daunting when you look up at the mountains and trying to work out how to get up there. So I like to break it up into these bite-sized pieces. We've probably only walked about 200 meters since the last break, but I like to break it up, and then it just makes the day a lot more enjoyable. You never get too tired, and yeah, it's just a better day out. So next stop is up at the waterfalls. This is one of the waterfalls I was talking about. It's not quite what I had in my head. It's still really nice. This tree has been chopped off at the top, so I'm not sure if it's really going to work for the picture that I had in my mind. So we'll keep on going and get up to the top. We're on to probably the most torturous bit of the route now. It's pretty much steps for the next part. You can't see the top yet, but it's got me thinking. And some of you asked me questions about why I like to do this kind of thing, like climbing up mountains when you get nice views down at the bottom. And sometimes I don't know the answer to that. This is just what I do. I've always done this. This has been like my escape. I used to work as a butcher, and on my days off I used to just run up the mountains, but now it's my job and I just really enjoy it. I prefer the struggle. I'm not a big fan of shooting from down in the bottom by the car. I do that quite often, but those days aren't quite as memorable, and I think it just comes in handy for everyday life. Like, some days you're just not feeling that great at home, and then you just come up into the mountains, push yourself a little bit, then when you get back home, everything just works better. You come at it from a different angle, and yeah, I guess it's just good for your mental health as well. Also comes in handy for your fitness. Some of you ask how I climb all these mountains, and it's because I just keep doing it, keep on top of it, and eventually it gets easier. Down at the bottom, I said I didn't like this route, and so far I found this pretty easy today. I think the last 2 times I've done this, it's been a lot warmer, and today it's cold enough that when you walk you stay quite nice, but got quite a bit more of a scramble to get up here. and then we'll stick on the GoPro, and then we'll be at the priest hole. We've made it up to the top now, and just inside the priest hole there was a guy just behind us, so what I'm going to do is quickly get the camera set up. I want to go for a panoramic shot. I'm going to do it quickly, then I'll run it through with you. Ideally I don't want people in, but I also don't want to ruin his day by having to wait around for me. Got everything set up, just going to have a quick tidy up in here. It's not actually that bad this time. Sometimes when you come in here, people leave a load of rubbish, which I don't really understand. You don't normally meet that type of person up on the fells, but if you do come up here, take your crap home. Or if you're going to go to the toilet, apparently there's a toilet shovel in here. But what I'm going to do is put this just behind this wall for now. Then there's no man-made things down here. I'm going to use a polarizer to bring out the blues, and I'm actually going to lift this up a little bit. Where I was a minute ago, the mountains were in the bottom third, now they're about halfway. Go a bit higher. And I think that's going to work a lot nicer. And what I'm doing is I'm focusing on the mountains, and I'm going to use this trigger release, and probably going to do about 6 photos. So I'm starting way off to the left, then there's a gap, then when we stitch it together afterwards it should work better. And when I've done this in the past, I haven't taken enough photos, so I'm going to go overkill and make sure there's a lot of places where the pictures meet up. Because it's really annoying once you get home from this place like this and you don't have all the right photos. But I think this is going to work out really nice. I might do one more after this and get these bottom rocks, and then might be able to get a 2:1 ratio print out of this rather than a 3:1. Please stop being annoying. Could I get you to move? Could you go this side? Could you get right up behind me? If you go there. I got my math slightly wrong on that one. I thought I could get my dad to sit there, but it's actually a lot more cramped in here than I'd like it to be. Gone quite wide, then I got options later on, and it just meant that we both had to cram into this back corner here. But I'm going to leave that camera there for now, but I'll show you this view out here. So this is the view out of the priest hole. You can look over the top of the fells. There's actually some nice clouds in the sky today, which I wasn't expecting. Didn't have very high hopes on the drive here. It looked quite hazy, but it's actually worked out really nice. Turns out that we didn't actually need to rush then, and we haven't seen anyone since we got here. But what we've done is I got them first panoramas there, and I've got a few different ones since then. I've brought the camera forward and gone for a wider shot, see how that looks. It's hard to tell what they're going to look like when you're here. You've got a rough idea, but you never know until it's actually stitched together. But we also went for a more elaborate selfie, and when I was in there, my dad was here with his binoculars like he's doing now, and it looks pretty cool with him stood there. So we stood on this edge here, and hopefully that's stitched together quite nice. Again, don't know if it's worked, but hopefully it has. And got a normal photo with us just in front of them rocks again, and with the 24-70 you can't actually get it all in, whereas with this lens you could. So maybe I should get a picture with this camera too and compare the difference between a panorama and just a normal photo. But I think we're going to make our way back down now. We're starting to get a bit cold, and this is what we came up for, and we've pretty much had it perfect. On the drive here it was quite hazy, but we've had some nice clouds up in the sky, and this is the best I've had it. Been up here a few times, and yeah, everything's lined up all together now. But here's the view down into the valley though. So you got the priest hole there, sort of blends into the rocks, and then you look over the fells in the Lake District. What we did is we started right back here and sort of zigzagged our way up, and you can see quite a lot today. There's a lot of shadows and light spots, and it's pretty good for photography. But I hope you like this video. If you want to see more things like this, I'm going to be out on the fells more now. Hopefully we'll get some winter conditions soon, but I wouldn't want to be in a place like this if it was icy. Also, I think I said before this was quite easy on the climb up, but I do want to say it is really dangerous. It's not really a beginner walk, because if it goes wrong, you're not going to get up if you fall down there. So come with someone that knows what they're doing and be careful. But I hope you like the photos, and I'll see you next time.